Honestly, I think all of it's correctable. I think when you look at the tape, there's a handful of things that we did that was just bad, like from a communication standpoint, and like all those things will get corrected as we learn from the film and as we just continue to play together. So I'm not particularly worried about any of that.
There's so much talk about Tom as a leader. What was he like after this game, about you guys obviously just turning the page and getting to week 2? What does he tell you guys about what you guys can do as a unit and learn from your first one together?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just that, it's turning the page. He obviously he's been through a ton of football, so he recognized that it's just one week, and like I said, the more we work together, the better we'll be. We're gonna fix these little things. We're gonna be good.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Next is going to be Rick Stroud.
Chris, Coach Arians mentioned that he felt at times, I know you had some big catches, he felt the guys didn't win their one-on-one battles. When you go back and watch that, what is that about?
I mean, I think there are definitely some times where some of us didn't win one-on-one battles. But I think there's a lot of times that we did. I think some of the things that there's some things that we can correct, but like I said earlier, I'm not particularly too worried. I think we got a lot of talented guys on our team. I think we got a lot of guys that are passionate about ball, and we're going to do what we need to fix the problems.
One other thing that Tom said was that even nothing's going to be perfect, right? I mean, you had no preseason; it's still a new system and all that, but you got to find ways to win games. So how much urgency is there, early in the season when you're going to get better as the year goes on, but you have to win that game?
Yeah, there's always a sense of urgency just because, in this league, man, everybody's so, competitive. Everyone's so evenly matched that, these little games, these first couple of games of the season can come back to haunt you later in the year. So it's going to be pivotal for us to bounce back, especially against a division rival.
Thanks.
And next is going to be Jenna Lane.
Hey, Chris, aside from that deep play action shot that you guys connected on the opening drive for you guys that set up that touchdown by Tom, what types of – it seemed like the Saints really from then on, did a good job coverage-wise downfield, and those shots really weren't available anymore. What types of things were they doing downfield that made some of those catches difficult?
I mean, really, like I think they were doing a good job of keeping everything in front of them. I think their game plan, was to double a lot of guys. I think the majority of the game, Mike was being doubled. A good amount of I was getting doubled. Gronk at times. I think they were just trying to make sure they have bodies on us. So it's going to be up to us in those scenarios. That guy that's single covered to win. It's going to be on us to run the ball better to prevent teams from doing that to us. But we're gonna get it fixed. We're gonna make the plays that come our way. I believe in all the guys on our team and the talent that we got. But you got to put it together.
Tom had talked about the fact that you guys were eager to test yourselves, right? Because up until this point, no preseason, you're going against your own defense in practice. So you finally got a chance to do that. What was do you feel like that's kind of, I guess, up the ante a little bit more in your practices, or when you guys are in meeting rooms now, do you have a better idea of what you need to do to take things a little bit further as an offense and grow a little bit more where you need to grow?
Yeah, I think we got a better idea. And I think the more games that we play, the better of an idea that we'll get. But, I don't think we really need to change, too much in terms of our preparation. I think we do a really good job of preparing. I think we work extremely hard. We had a really good camp, but you never really know what the full product's going to look like until you put it on the field. And that was our first opportunity. We learned from some of the mistakes. We understand that there's some miscommunication that we have to get fixed. And that's going to come with experience. Building this chemistry together.
All right, next is going to be Greg Allman.
Hey, Chris, you made that catch on 4th down late there by the goal line. Looked like they sent you off, and there was a flag on the play. Just want to ask you about that play and how you were feeling afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, are you like referring to just what the play was, or just a result?
Just the contact you had and how you felt.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm fine. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a bang bang play. I was able to get up, go on the sideline and, like get back together. And I was ready to go back in, but, we were able to score a touchdown. You know what I mean? So, that shout out to my guys, really finishing that drive. But that fourth down play was big for us.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, next is going to be Ed Encina.
Chris, obviously, this is going to be your first home game of the season, and you're not going to have any fans on the stands. You guys got to see what this is like with no fans there this week, or in New Orleans with this pumped-in crowd noise. Did you feel? What did that feel like? Did it feel like they had a home field advantage? Did it feel like there was any kind of advantage or even atmosphere? What was that like? And what do you kind of expect going into this week, knowing what that's kind of like?
Honestly, it was very, very weird. I don't know why, but I guess I thought the crowd noise was going to be a lot louder. But I mean, it really was just like a low rumble. Like you can hear like everything that everyone was saying perfectly. And so it's really just, on the players to kind of like create their own juice. And, like when big plays happen, guys get excited, but like TV time about stuff is eerily quiet. So I don't necessarily think anybody's going to have much of a home field advantage. It's really just going out there and execute. So, when we go out there this Sunday, it's going to be really big for us to get out and start making some plays early on to kind of generate that juice for ourselves.
So they do that to kind of simulate a real game, right? But it seemed like it was more abrupt with, kind of coming and going. There was no, is that the way it felt?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty accurate. It was kind of coming and going, but like I said, it was like the crowd noise. It was pretty low. And probably because the stadium is so big, but it didn't really seem like it played that big of a factor in terms of like how guys were communicating stuff like that.
Thanks, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Next is going to be Tom Krasnicki.
Hi, Chris. Good to talk to you again. I want to ask you about the Carolina defense. I know it's a young defense. They spent every draft pick on that side of the ball in this past year's draft. So what do you know about them, and what have you seen out of them?
Honestly, I haven't seen much yet, but obviously they have, like you said, a ton of young guys, mixed in with some veterans, new coach, new coaching staff. I'm pretty sure that they're going to present some challenging things for us, a lot of different looks. We don't really have one game to go off of. And so that's going to present its own challenges. But, at the end of the day, when we go out there, it's going to be up to us to make sure we're on the same page communication wise. And, regardless of what the look is, just going out and executing.
I know it's early in the season, but nobody wants to drop to 0-2, and especially 0-2 in the division. So is it too soon to call this a must-win on Sunday?
I feel like every game that we go into, we have to win it. We have to go in with the mentality that we have to win that game because you're never guaranteed what the future's going to look like. This may prove to be a very, very vital game for us down the road, but we can't look that far. We got to focus on Carolina and beating this talented team.
All right, next is going to be Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Chris, what does it say about Mike Evans to fight through that hamstring injury and not just play on Sunday, but really go wire to wire in that game? And what type of a game do you expect from him, assuming he's as healthy as he was at the end of the game this Sunday?
Yeah, I think it really speaks to just his toughness, man. Obviously I know Mike really well, and just, seeing how passionate he is about the game, about performing well, and about being there for his guys, be able to push through, that injury that he was battling and to go out there and really play. He played a good game. He was really impactful in terms of how the defense was playing them, got a couple pass interference calls. So, clearly like they still saw him as a threat that he should be taken as. And I think he's going to be excited for this upcoming week. We got a lot of stuff that we got to prove. A lot of stuff that we can correct, and he's right there with us.
It's one thing for new Buccaneers to come in and try to learn this offense, like Tom Brady, LaShawn McCoy, Rob Gronkowski, without the benefit of the OTAs, the mini camp, et cetera, and also no preseason games. Mm-hmm. What does it say about teams like Carolina that have brand new coaching staff? Can you just kind of wrap your mind around that for a minute, and what a few of these NFL teams like Carolina is going through this year in trying to learn all the stuff on the fly with very, very limited time to get acclimated?
Yeah, I would imagine that is very, very challenging. You have to expedite the process that, you normally have an extra 3 or 4 months to really work on, the little details of the offense. really, like I said, you have to expedite that and make it shake, because at the end of the day, when the season comes, nobody's all like, oh, you guys, it's okay that you guys didn't play good because you guys are new. Like, no, like when the games come, everybody is expected to perform. And, like that's a challenge that they have. It's a challenge that everyone's kind of going through. So I definitely feel for them.
We have time for just a few more. We'll go Kevin O'Donnell and then one from Jenna Lane.
Hey, Chris, it appears that, Bruce's system calls for a lot of option routes. Is that one of the biggest challenges with Tom, trying to learn you guys when you're running your routes, when you make an option change?
I wouldn't say it's one of the biggest ones, but I definitely would say that it's definitely a challenge. That's kind of where the chemistry comes in, just understanding, one, the guy's body language, two, just make sure that we're on the same page in terms of the read. Like it's not just him learning us, it's us learning him. We have to understand, the types of things that he likes for certain coverages, for certain leverage, to make sure that, these option routes are easier for, for everyone to complete.
There was so much excitement building up for this opener with Tom coming in and all the new pieces to this team. Mm-hmm. Can you describe just the feeling of coming off that field as a team, what it was like in New Orleans?
You talking about afterwards?
Yes, afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, obviously afterwards, you're disappointed. Like anytime you lose, there's some frustration involved, but like that's just natural for us as competitors. But we also realize that, we can use this as a teaching moment. We looked at the game and we realized the mistakes that we made. We realized it wasn't our best game. And, with the talent that we have in our locker room, if we just correct the little things, we correct our game that we, the mistakes that we were making, we'll be fine. We're going to go out there and play our game next week, learn from this one. We already watched the film. So now we're on to Carolina and we're ready to go out there and make plays moving forward.
All right, our last question is coming from Jenna Lane.
Chris, I know how much you guys really respect Tom and everything that he's done in his career, and nobody wants to start a season off throwing 2 interceptions, right? And he's taken some flack for it. Nobody seems to care that there was no preseason or no off season. Nobody's making excuses for him or anything. What's it kind of like for you guys seeing him taking a lot of that criticism? I mean, one of the things Jason Light talked about with us is the fact that, he's really elevated the standard for everybody in the organization. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff people don't see on the field. Can you just kind of describe what it's like seeing that, and also seeing what the types of things he's doing behind the scenes that people don't see yet?
Yeah, we understand that. Often, quarterbacks take the large majority of the blame for what happens with the team. But, we've been around Tom, enough to know that he's not bothered by that. We certainly aren't bothered by it. We understand the type of player that he is. And like you said, him coming here, just kind of like raising the standard, we all understand that we have to be better, like collectively, individually and collectively. And so like, we're going to take all that in stride. We know he's going to be better. I'm going to be better. Mike's going to be better. We'll all be better moving forward because we're going to learn from these mistakes and we're going to get better. Our chemistry is going to improve. We're just going to keep growing as a team. We've got a lot of room to grow, and we're going to keep doing it.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks for taking the time, Chris.
Yep, no doubt. Be safe, everybody.